Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm under a fair bit of pressure here. Speaking to the tiler, he's away on holiday, he's getting his mate who's also away on holiday, and I'm trying to shimmy him in just to get this little downstairs loo done. Personally, I just don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm also gonna try and do a YouTube video on fitting one of these little grower frames, because on this job we've got a rocker in-wash inspirer, so it's the little B-Day one, but I'm gonna show you how to customize the shorter frame, because the frame that goes with the rocker in-wash inspirer is 1100, which actually is higher than this windowsill, so we can't have that, so we've got to put a smaller frame in. But I'm going to show you how to first fix some pipe work and sort of modify it so it works for both. So this is our frame, and also what's probably not fair in doing a YouTube video on a little how-to fit with these frames, this is just super lucky. This never ever happens. In fact, this is probably the first time this has ever happened to me, and I've been fitting these for absolute years. But we've got our waste pipe down here, so that's our waste pipe there. And when you unbox the frame, normally comes with a bend like that, and there's your little adapter with a 4-inch, so 4-inch into 90mm, or 110 into 90mm. Sorry, I like to go imperial metric. It's just sorry about that. But so in this case, this has obviously been brought in beforehand, but all I have to do here is remove this 4-inch pipe here, pull that up, give it a little grease up, and then I literally will be pushing that in there, and then basically pushing that in there. So let's imagine that's like that, but in the fitting, obviously I can cut that down to whatever height I want that in, so down or up or whatever, to wherever it needs to be. And then that is gonna line up in here. So shall I show you how to make these bits up? Might as well, hey. So that's everything out of my box. In here, just so clearly laid out, as if I'm doing a YouTube video for it. Now, when making up this frame, right, it's just a couple of things you need. Most importantly, a bit of silicone grease. That's the most important. And then you need a little Posi 2 screwdriver, little flathead, and we'll get going. So that is the frame as it stands. Now, first thing I like to do is just whip this off. Now, this frame comes with two options, as you can see, right? So you've got front button, flush the loo at the front, or you can have it on the top. So for example, like if you was just gonna go flush, you could have the button on top. In this case, because it's gonna finish about here, the frame, and I wanna take the boxing up so it's flush with this windowsill so it comes out, I'm gonna have the button on the front. So also a bit of a bonus on these smaller frames, the 82 frames, this is 82 centimeters high, is that my mum pointed this out actually, which is quite nice. When you got the button on the front and the toilet lid is left up, this is when my little brother was living at home, she said she really liked it, because when the lid was up and he had a wee, he'd have to put the seat down to flush the button. So it's quite good. So this is the inside, and the first thing we're going to do is just launch this. Don't need this. So launch that, and then inside here, as you can see, we've got a filler valve there. That's the flush valve. Now, if you don't know how these work, this obviously in there, water goes in there and then fills this up, and then obviously the water slowly builds up to a level. This thing lifts up like so. So imagine my hand is the water, and once that gets to there, that height, it shuts the water off, and then that's your water level. Now, this is your overflow. So if this was to stop working, basically the water would still just keep filling up in here, and then it just starts pouring down there. Now that is connected to this pipe, and then just runs, obviously there'll be a toilet here, runs into your toilet, runs out down the drain. So that's what happens if that fails. You just see a load of water inside your toilet pouring down. So how this works on this button is, imagine that's working okay, the water level is up to a normal level. You will press the button. This is pneumatic, so when you press the button, it puts a slight bit of air pressure through this hose. So I'll blow down this, ready? And you'll watch this lift up. So, see that? So, that's all it's doing. So, and essentially, this is just a big washer. There's a big washer set, like a plug, you know, like a plug in the bath. And then when you press the button, it lifts the plug up. All the water runs down here and flushes your toilet. So that's how that works. So first thing we've got to do is just make up this valve, and gives you a couple of options there. That's the one there, or obviously what you can do is take this cap out if you want it at the back. So you can pop this out, plug that in there, and then have your connection at the back. I'm going to leave it on the side. I want it on the side. So, and that is in this little bag. So if I was clever about this, do you know what? Oh no, let's just crack on. So that is that. So this is your little fill valve. So I'm trying to do this one-handed. So that undoes like so. Now on this frame, does it have the little chamfer on it? I can't remember. No. So some of these on different brands, they'll have like a corner shaved off, and then like in this little bit, it'll also have a corner shaved off, so you know which way that has to go in. For experience, I'm gonna sound like an absolute wally if I get this wrong now, but I believe this faces upwards, so that goes in there like so. So that's like that inside. You see that? So you don't want it that way, or that way, or that way. I believe it's upwards. Now this is a tricky bit. So I had a problem when I first fitted these. I sort of cross-threaded this. So this is going to be very difficult to do one-handed, but you sort of slide that over, and you have to very carefully. There we go. I am going to need two hands to do this. You have to very carefully thread it on, just making sure that it's nice and straight, and you're not going to cross thread the plastic, semi-plastic. So that's just screwed on. Now, you don't need to tighten this up, like you don't need to go mad. Just literally just hand tight, like back there. I can feel that, that's nice. So that's on like so. So that's a good level of tightness there. But I can't really move it. So that's made in there. Now you want to grab your little hose here, and any time in plumbing there's a little O-ring or something like that, you're going to need silicone grease. Do not try and attempt to put this on without silicone grease. You're just going to end up wedging it or damaging it and stuff like that, and you're going to get a leak. So you just want to put that around your O-ring there, and then your O-ring there. Okay. And now what we want to do is, I always do this end first, but you want to push that into the valve, you know, the one we've just screwed in. I'll do that up and then I'll put that one in. So let's see if I can get that angle for you. I'll see if I can get this in one-handed. So that one first. Because you've applied silicone grease, it's just gone in really easily, just nice and easy. And then on this side, what you need to do, a little bit of, not too much, just a little bit of force, pull that back. Just make sure that this goes in nice and square. So, like not on the wonk like that, you want to just focus it. So nice, and you see this is gonna pop in a second. There we go. There's no damage to that O-ring there. which is key. And then you just do that up hand tight, like so. And that's it. That's you've made the ball valve up, if you like. And then in a minute we're going to be connecting onto this. So that's going to be our water feed going in, but we're just making up the system for now. So that's that. That can be tucked back in there for the minute. Don't need to worry about that. Now what have we got? See, any instructions, and this bit of bag is going to come in handy. So just keep that over to there. We've got our fixing kits. So this is for like the legs, and they give you some self tappers here, because when you're building the frame, obviously you can get the aluminium, they call it, it's like the MF, you know, the metal frame stud work, and that goes around there, and you literally just put like self tappers in there. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing this in timber. So next thing here is these. So you'll see there's two sets of holes here. We're going for the 180mm ones for the wall hung frames. That pretty much does every wall hung frame. These, I'm not entirely sure what these ones are for, because I've never had to use them. I'm assuming maybe something for like a disabled toilet, or maybe a rhinal or something like that. I don't know. So I'm not even going to pretend to be an expert on that. If you know, please drop it in the comments. Help others out. But yeah, every time I've done these, I've just had to use the inside ones here, which is 180mm. Now, this is where your little flathead comes from. Just wind that in a bit more. Now, what I'd say is just wind this in probably into a distance of the covers they supply. For example, so it's like just a bit of cardboard here, but just, you know, push that in like so, and just wind that back. So there, that'll do. Do the same for this side. Right then, so now that's done, we're gonna get our little pipe clip, if you like, in here. Now you can see it's all just like little locking bits there. So what you want to do is, it wants to be facing like that. So at the front, see it's like slightly off, and on the underside you'll see there's like a little groove, a little sliding groove bit. So you just simply like push that in there. It's a lot harder with one hand, I'm not gonna lie. And then what you'll see is these couple of grooves here, a couple of options. You'll see now that what they want you to do is push that in there, and obviously you have options of going round, or in this case, for once in my life ever, just straight down. That never ever happens. Now, with the GROHE frames, you can get an adapter for this. So if you've got say you've got a soil pipe coming straight out the wall or whatever, you can get just a straight adapter. So it just sort of clips in. So I think I've got one in the van. Let's see if I can go and get it. You know what, I had a quick look for that straight adapter, but I think I put it in my lockup because I knew I wasn't going to need it. But what I'll do is I'll put the link to the straight adapter in the description at the bottom. But you get the idea. It's basically, it's straight, it's not bent. So you can go like straight out the back. Now, when you have got your pipe going straight out the back, you'll tend to find that if you had like a close coupled toilet, like a normal toilet beforehand, that the pipe coming out the wall is probably about 190 high. Now with these, the pipe coming out here, the height off the floor is normally about 220. So, you know, you're not going to be able to go like straight adapter straight into it. You normally have to put like 245s, like one facing up, one facing. So you like to bring the height up. So it normally means that if you're going straight at the back, it's going to be further forward, like so, rather than tight at the back like that. So that's just to give you an idea. Now, let's put this back here. Kicking everything away. So with this one, as you can see, this is going to be nice and easy for me because that clips in there. That is going to be facing straight down and it's going to go straight into there. And then what you do is you just clip that on like so. Ta-da! And that's locked in place. You see that's going to be facing straight down. So that's that bit. Am I missing anything? Oh yes, the bit at the top. So that's these little guys. Yeah, these little guys here. Ta-da! Now, you see these guys here? Now what you want to do, got little like Torx, oh sorry, oh they've changed it, used to be Torx, now it's a posi drive. But what you want to do, just thread that on there. Okay, same for this one. A bit stiff that is. Okay, so that's in there like that. And what we're going to do is, see in there, is we're just going to screw that in here like so. You can see you can kind of adjust it, the depth that you want it. And obviously, say that's you adjust that, you just tighten it up. Bosh. And do the same for this side. Right then, so that's that. We're going to need all of this as fixed now. You may notice we've got a flush plate here, so that's going to go on second fix. We've also got our pan connector. So when this comes to second fix, you imagine it's all like tiled and stuff, that slides in there and your toilet pushes onto that. And then in here is like your fixing kit. So as you see, you break through that and there's like the, I'll show you. So we've got this, which goes on the end of that. So this is the bit I would say you don't want to silicone grease that bit, you want a bit of friction there so it doesn't come off. Ugh. One-handed madness. So get that on there, all the way to the bottom, nice and square. Lovely, so that's like that. And we will be greasing that up. Now that goes in there, you'd be greasing this up as well, but that pushes in there and that's the flush pipe, so that goes into the top of the toilet. And then so water comes out of this one and goes back into this one. And then these, depending on the wall hung pan you've got, these are the fixing kits. Now, little Toddy's top tip for this is get all of this out. Oh, I thought we went down the hole then. Lovely. Right, you see like a little bag like this that you've done. Put it all in there, like so. Oh, it's much quicker working with two hands. So, get all that, put that in there, in another bag, so it's harder for it to fall out. Yeah, get this one, and pop that in there as well. Even down to the little pack of screws, right? So, see these little pack of screws? Sorry, I didn't film that. So, I get them out of this box. So it's just the flush plate, right? Leave that like that. Put that back, but the screws, I don't even risk losing them. So I'll put all these little bits and pieces and this, right? Because it's very easy for these to go walkabouts. And all I do, so just pop that in there, along with that. Just down there, out of harm's way, no one's gonna lose that. And then pop pop that back in there. And then obviously, we're gonna put our caps back on. That's the top protected. And then when we come to doing this, I'm just gonna pop that on there. And I'll show you in a second. It's just some little screws. So, which I believe are in one of these. Or probably in that packet I've just put away. Genius. But yeah, anyway, it's because I'm doing stupid YouTube. So, let me get my little packet of screws out. So anyway, I'm gonna get the screws out of there and screw them on. And I'll show you that in a second. I'm embarrassed now. Ooh. Well, I want that. So here they are. No wonder I missed them. This little packet here. So be careful not to lose these. And little tiny little screws there. So there's no way I'm going to do this one-handed, but making sure that's on properly. Sorry, I said making sure that's on properly. And a little PZ2 screwdriver. And just fixing that in. That's safe. Cool. Nearly lost that screw. So that's in like that. And obviously, because I'm filming YouTube, just love embarrassing myself today. I forgot to put it in the system, didn't I? But I'm not going to panic because I can get the lid off at the top. So you don't need to use all these packets. I'll just do it to stop. Just harder for it to fall out of it. Do you know what I mean? So is that everything? I believe it is. So. Pull the lid off, put it in the top, put it down there. Put it back. I know that's not going to get lost. That's that. That's pretty much made up. That is it. So that's how you make the frame up. So see you later. Woo!